Hello Dead Zoners and Alliance members. Today I'm going to be showing you another fuel raid. Now, I've been sort of monitoring several of my neighbours, uh, and I would advise you do the same because it allows me to farm them, basically maximizing the yield of how much I can raid them for. We all know that it takes 46 hours for the fuel generator to reach maximum capacity. So if you time your raids properly, you'll be able to maximize how much fuel you get. Okay, now I'm going to be doing a bit of raiding analysis as well, so I'm going to be doing a bit of stop and play. I actually recorded this video before, so go through the usual steps. View your compound that you're going to attack first. There's no time limit. You can check it out. It just gives you everything. Identifying the fuel generator, that it's smoking. That is the key, that there is fuel in there. If there's no smoke, then there's no point in raiding if you're going for the fuel, because there won't be any fuel there. Identify the fuel generator, of course. Make sure it's easily accessible. If it's surrounded by guys, think about how you're going to get there. Maybe using smoke grenades and stuff if it's under a lot of threat. In this case, there aren't anyone inside the compound. However, as I zoom out, you can see that all the entrances are guarded by barricades and watchtowers, which would indicate that perhaps there are some survivors going to be guarding that. Now, one thing that I would advise you don't do, which I'll demonstrate in this video, is split your survivors up into different sort of sections to guard the 3 entrances, because you've only got 10 survivors. You divide that up by 3, you're going to have 3, 4, 3, and that makes it very easy to pick them off. You want all your survivors clustered together. So I'm going to put in a bit of defending tips as well. So, identified the raid target. Looks promising. I've monitored this poor girl's compound for a while, so I know that fuel generator's been running for a while. So, I've identified the weak spot closest to the generator, obviously, and I'm going to deploy right against the car. I generally don't like to use the concrete blocks here. They're a little iffy when it comes to cover and stuff, but I don't know, they work sometimes, but I prefer not to. Alright, so deploying on the car. Now I'm choosing my fight, who I'm going to bring. I normally bring, now because I'm expecting to do some fighting, I'm going to use a mid-team that consists of 3 people, 1 melee, 2 shooters. I generally use fighter, recon, and engineer. Fighter for taking the damage, dealing the damage, recon for sniping, picking them off, and the engineer for cutting through and disarming. Now, of course, there are no healers, so I've got to be careful with the health. Hence, I want the fighter to have a very good protective vest, so they can soak up a lot of damage and won't be, compromised. Using long rifles as always for the accuracy, the power, smoke grenades, and explosive grenades, because explosive grenades can be used for disarming traps, getting through barricades. Try to use your explosive grenades on your non-melee people, because if your melee person gets killed, you want to have those explosive grenades as an extra backup for getting through the barricades. Shooting works, but it takes a lot of time, and you are under the clock. So, as you see right here, there are people in the barricade and then in the tower, of course, as you would expect. However, they're in range of my M24s, so that means my M24s are going to have max damage, max accuracy. They're going to be able to fire, much more effectively, suppress them a lot better. It's just a bit it's a bit unfair for the defender because, you know, they're gonna be controlled by a computer and they're gonna focus on certain, you know, certain defenders. So if you split them up, as I've just done, split up your survivors so that they're not suppressed, because suppression normally comes as uh, an area that's suppressed. So if your survivors are clustered together, they generally get suppressed quite a lot. As you can see, I've just taken out one guy, which then means that the defense becomes even less. Another guy goes down. Now you've only got one person suppressing my 3 defenders. That guy's not going to last very long. Boom. Now the other defenders aren't engaging because they are too far away, or, you know, there's no line of sight. Splitting them up around the entrances means that there's no line of sight. Now, as you notice, I've gone round the area. I've gone to the wall by going through the buildings because I know that there aren't traps there. But if I were to march right through this open area, right here, you know, there's potential traps there, and that's just, you know, wasting time, sort of disarming them, and possible potential risk. I mean, 95% isn't 100%. You know, I've had traps go over my engineer's face, and it was like, you know, 95% chance they'll succeed. Checking. Oh shit. Right, there you saw. My recon was, what, 5-10 meters away from that trap. Still blew up in his face and killed him. You know, the recon is not foolproof in trap spotting, so you just always got to be careful. Having the 3 means I got a backup. Now, you think, oh, well, you could have sent in the engineer, they've got more health, but I could do that now. And as you can see, the generator's not very far, so there's not going to be more than 1 or 2 traps around it. You always send in the recon first to spot the traps. Of course, you get these instances where the recon doesn't see it for some reason. So, sending in. No traps. Ooh, 35 fuel. Maximum fuel rate. It pays to time and plan your raids. You know, you could get from 12 to 35. That's 23 extra fuel just for waiting a couple of hours. I mean, not a couple of hours, but planning your raids. Yep. See, these survivors aren't doing anything. They're not protecting the generator. They're not engaging my survivors because there's no line of sight. You know, just very easy. You know, poor defensive planning. So, that is fuel rating with a bit of resistance. I hope you enjoyed. You know, if you've got any suggestions, leave a comment. You know, like, dislike, whatever. Happy hunting. Hope it helps. Thanks.